Good morning. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about that nutrition and the sub-concept photosynthesis. Let's move into the concept of nutrition. We know that nutrition means the acquiring of food. That is called nutrition. Usually in the nature, there are two different modes of nutrition is there. The first one is called autotrophic nutrition and the second one is called heterotrophic nutrition. So here the common pathway for the heterotrophic nutrition in all living things is the first one is ingestion and second one is digestion and third one is absorption and fourth one is transportation and finally respiration. So these are the five steps which are involved in the nutrition. As we know that during the process of ingestion, the organism can intake the food material into the body. Later, several digestive enzymes which acts on the food materials and converts into simpler substances in the process called digestion. After the digestion, the converted simpler substances now assimilated into bloodstream and as well as the plasma. And later, here what happened, some of the particles which are also absorbed into the lymph. Now, these two transportation mediums like blood and the lymph now carries that all the digested food particles in different body parts by the process called transportation. And finally, these digested simpler units now respire in each and every cell by the process called respiration. Okay, so these are the common steps which are involved in the nutrition. Okay, let's move into the first mode of nutrition is autotrophic nutrition. As the term indicates that autotrophic, so here autotrophic means the organisms which prepare their own food materials. Means here all the living organisms means which are perform the autotrophic nutrition, those has the ability to prepare their own food materials. For this, these organisms requires a simple compounds, so simple inorganic materials. These simple inorganic materials are converted into the complex molecules. Okay, the organisms which performs the autotrophic nutrition, those are called autotrophs. We know that we are very familiar about that autotrophic nutrition. So in our surroundings we can find different types of autotrophs. So especially the plants are considered as a autotrophic nutrition and those are called autotrophs. And some of the bacteria, those can also consider as a autotrophs, but these bacteria prepare their food materials by using chemical substances, hence those are called chemoautotropic organisms. Okay, next we will discuss about the concept of photosynthesis. So we know that the photosynthesis, it is a process in which the simple inorganic molecules are converted into complex substances like glucose and starch in green parts of the plants. Okay, so here the photosynthesis, it is a complex mechanism. For this, plants have a separate organelles called as chloroplast. We know that each chloroplast contains several color pigments. Those are chlorophylls and xanthophylls. Means xanthophylls are considered as a accessory color pigments. Okay, so all these color pigments which forms a light harvesting complex in order to capture the sunlight. Okay, so here why the sunlight is essential for the photosynthesis. We know that For every chemical reaction, it requires some energy. So here in the autotrophic organisms like plants, those can also require some energy, but this energy is obtained from the sunlight only. Okay, so that is the reason sunlight plays a crucial role for preparation of the food materials in autotrophic organisms like plants. And here several scientists conduct several experiments on autotrophic organisms like plants. The most accepted formula for the photosynthesis was first proposed by C.B. Van Nile. Later, Robert Hill showed that oxygen is liberated from water molecule, and he also modifies the equation of photosynthesis. So as we are very familiar about that photosynthesis equation, means the 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O and 6O2. So this is the prime equation for the photosynthesis. So here in the right side units, means in the right side part we will found C6H12O6. So this is the chemical formula for the glucose, and the water 6H2O plus 6O2. Okay, so here Robert Hill, he shows that oxygen is liberated from which part? It is liberated from the water only. Okay, so here we can clearly find that oxygen is liberated from water molecule. And as earlier I said, this entire process, it takes place in presence of sunlight in chlorophyll. Okay, so here the chlorophyll, it is a colored pigment. So in the chloroplast, all these actions are performed, and the energy source, it is supplied from the sunlight. So this is the basic formula for the photosynthesis. Let's move to that the raw materials which are essential for the photosynthesis. So here there are different kinds of materials are required for the photosynthesis, like carbon dioxide and water and chlorophyll and light. So these are the raw materials which are essential for the photosynthesis. And finally the end products. So here the end products of the photosynthesis is glucose and oxygen and water. So these are the end products of photosynthesis. Okay, let's move to the reactions which are involved in the photosynthesis. So we know that for every chemical reactions, all the reactions will undergoes in different stages. So like in plants, the photosynthesis, it can also performed in two stages. The first step of events are called as light reactions. Okay, so usually the light reactions, those can take place in the grana of chloroplast. So here when the chlorophyll it exposed to the light energy, so it gets activated and it can split the water molecule into two component ions named hydrogen and hydroxyl ions. So here the water molecule, it exposed to the sunlight, it should be splits into that hydrogen and as well as the hydroxyl ions. So this is called as photolysis, means breakdown of water into two components like protons and hydroxyl ions. All these reactions were first explained by the Robert Hill. Hence, the light reactions are also called as Hill reactions. Okay. So here, the hydroxyl ions which are produced during the photolysis process from the water molecule. So here, what happened? These hydroxyl ions, it undergoes several sequence of reactions and finally it liberates into oxygen into the atmosphere. Okay, at the end of the light reactions we will get oxygen and water and as well as a ATP. Okay, so ATP and NADP, these two are the assimilatory powers which are generated during the light reactions. Okay, So at the end of the light reactions, we will get water and oxygen, and as well as the ATP and NADPH. Okay, so these are the first step of reactions called light reactions. Then move to the second step of reactions are those are called as light independent reactions. So basically the light independent reactions are also called as biosynthetic phase. Okay, so in the previous reactions, hydroxyl ion it convert into the what oxygen. Then what about the H plus ions? Now the H plus ions, now these are picked up by the NADP, means nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide phosphate. It is reduced to the NADPH. Okay, now this NADPH combines with the raw material for the photosynthesis, that is that carbon dioxide. Okay, this NADPH is combined with the carbon dioxide, and it undergoes a series of reactions, and finally it produces glucose. Okay, all these sequence of reactions were explained by the Melvin Calvin. Hence, these are called as Calvin cycle. Okay, so let's summarize it. How this energy is light energy is converted into uh, the carbohydrates in plants. Let's focus on the biosynthetic phase in plants. So as we know that the carbon dioxide and water, these two are the raw materials. Okay, so here the energy is obtained from the sunlight. So as we know that from the sunlight we will get a series of wavelength of light like yellow, red, green and the blue. So here this light energy is trapped by the chlorophyll color pigments. Okay, so these are the grana. On the grana we will find that the green parts. So here what happened during the Kelvin cycle, the carbon dioxide it is combined with that NADPH. So here the carbon dioxide it combines with the NADPH and it forms the phosphoglyceric acid. Okay, the phosphoglyceric acid means before the formation of the phosphoglyceric acid, both the carbon dioxide and the NADPH molecules those undergoes a series of reactions. Okay, so at the end we will get the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Okay, so the formation of G3P it is called one of the best or the one of the important reactions which occurred in the Kelvin cycle. So now here what happened? The carbon dioxide it fixed into the 6 carbon compound called glucose. Hence the Kelvin cycle is also called as the carbon fixation. Okay, so means the dark reactions are also called as the Kelvin cycle and is also called as a carbon fixation. So here, if you observe in this reaction, so as early I said, during the light reactions, two explanatory powers are generated. Those are ATP and NADP. So these two are the explanatory powers. These are further involved in the dark reactions of photosynthesis. So here what happened? For the reduction of the carbon dioxide, these two energy compounds are very important, means these two energy compounds plays a crucial role for carbon fixation. So here the carbon dioxide it converts into the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and finally it produces what we call the glucose molecule. As we know that the glucose it is further stored in the different parts of the plants as starch. Okay, so this is the glucose molecules. Okay, so these glucose molecules and fructose, it is stored in different forms of the plants. So this is the end of the dark reactions. Okay, thank you.